So what do we got here going on?
So these are the cookies I'm sending home with you. We have our half baked, which is a half chocolate chip, half double chocolate cookies stuffed with cookie dough and brownie batter. Then we have our classic chocolate chip, one of my absolute favorites. That's that one. And then here we have our cosmic brownie, which is double chocolate stuffed with chocolate ganache and topped with vegan candies. And then finally we have our cookie dough, which is our classic chocolate chip dough stuffed with cookie dough and topped with mini chocolate chips.
Ah, thank you so much. I'm gonna have to share, but it's gonna be hard to.
I feel that.
Now, wasn't there one more, like you had someone hiding?
I do.
Yeah.
I have one hiding. We have our strawberry shortcake, which is a strawberry flavored cookie dough stuffed with strawberry jam, coated in shortcake crumb, and then there are some white chips in there as well. Hi everybody, I'm Mary Kate Lynch. I am one of the 6 vegan sisters, and I am also the owner of Cookies by MK. I went vegan in 2015. It actually started with my mom, who had been vegetarian since she was 15. She worked at a steakhouse, and she just could not stand seeing the meat and seeing how it was made. So she went vegetarian, and then much later on went vegan. So growing up, I had just a lot of exposure to vegetarianism. And when I was in middle school, I went vegetarian for Lent, and I just stuck with it. It was super easy because my mom helped me out with it. She would make lots of food for us. In college, when I was a freshman, I went fully vegan. I realized being vegetarian was not quite enough to completely help the animals, and so I went fully vegan.
And how did you realize it wasn't enough?
I, in middle and high school, would do kind of assignments, and I would do them on being vegetarian. And in all of my research, I would realize, being vegetarian, they're still harming the animals. It's not necessarily doing my part in saving animal cruelty. And I would kind of try to not think too much about that because, I just didn't think I could fully go vegan. So all throughout high school, I stayed vegetarian. When I was transitioning into college, that's when I really was just took a look at myself, and I was like, okay, this is not enough. I need to go vegan. My mom had been vegan now for a couple years. A couple of my sisters had made the transition. So, really having that support system also helped because we're always cooking together, we're always eating together. It ended up being a very easy transition. I just needed to get to that space myself to be able to make that transition.
Did you notice any physiological, mental, or emotional changes after going vegan?
I really didn't have necessarily any issues to solve at the time.
Because you were so young?
Yeah, exactly. So I've felt healthy ever since doing that. And I feel like a lot of people, especially nowadays, they eat fast food or they eat whatever, and afterwards they feel so sick and they have so many stomach problems, so many issues, and I feel like I've never really experienced that. Even actually my boyfriend, he has had a lot of stomach issues before he met me. He had his gallbladder removed, and so he had lots of stomach issues from that. And ever since meeting me and really embracing the vegan diet, he eats so much of what I eat, he just feels so much better. So you really do see it in people who have stomach issues and incorporate more vegan food into their diet.
Wow, yeah. And you have 5 other siblings, sisters,
yes,
that are all vegan. So,
yes,
so it's 6 vegan sisters is what
correct.
You guys say.
Yes. So I have 5 sisters, 3 brothers. My 5 sisters and I are all vegan. My mom is also vegan. It makes it so fun and so easy. And we created this business together, so we're always cooking and eating together. And
which business did you create together?
So our social media business, 6 Vegan Sisters, we created that around the same time I went vegan, not long after. And that's when we all really had made the transition.
Well, what kind of business is that?
It's a blog, Instagram, and we have a cookbook.
Is that what that is right there?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's called the 6 Vegan Sisters Everyday Cookbook. This is the 6 of us. It has 200 recipes and full page pictures. I think it's about 100 pictures. It covers just a wide range of foods, from breakfast to dinners to making your own dressings and meat substitutes, cheese substitutes. It really has like everything you would need to go vegan. And one of our kind of main goals with creating Six Vegan Sisters was to show that you can have every food you ate when you weren't vegan, and you can make it vegan and eat it without harming any animals. So like mac and cheese, ranch, we do everything. I do a lot of the dessert. Since I was little, I loved baking. And when I went vegan, one of my main things was, okay, I want to make everything that I used to make, used to love. I want to make it vegan, and I want to make it taste just as good, if not better. I do get a lot of people who try my desserts and they are so surprised that they're vegan. They tell me they're better than a non-vegan dessert, and that's really our goal.
And some of your sisters have children, right?
Correct.
Are they vegan from conception?
Yes, yes. So my oldest sister has 2 boys and 1 girl, and then my second oldest is just about to give birth to a baby girl. My oldest sister has raised her kids vegan. She has fed them vegan since birth, and that really was something she wanted to do and stuck with it. Yeah, she sends them everywhere with food. Our parents, her parents-in-law, they know that they should be feeding their kids vegan food, and she does her best, as we all are.
Since I've been doing this, I've just been fascinated with the whole concept, and moving forward, a lot of the interviews I'm doing are around that topic. And I even started a website called raisingchildrenvegan.com, something that I'm really excited to put out there. And so it's just cool to hear that you can interject a little bit of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like I said, my mom, she would feed us whatever we wanted, but she exposed us to so much vegetarian and vegan food, and she was the real driver for all of us going vegan.
Cookies by MK. Now, that's separate from all this, right? That's your baby?
My baby, yes. Everybody helped me out with it, and it's involved with the Six Vegan Sisters brand, but yes, this really was my baby. I started in college. I have loved baking since I was little. And I think I actually started baking way more when I turned vegan, because it was kind of it was driving me to be like, I want to make all of these things taste as good as something non-vegan and better. And I just started baking all the time. It felt like a science experiment, playing with everything. And when we wrote the cookbook, I really dove into the vegan baking, and I wanted everything to be perfect. So that's what kind of started this, is I was like, I want to be able to share this with everybody, not just in recipes. It's great in recipe form, but not everybody's cooking, not everybody's baking. And if it's not easy, then they might not do it. So if they can just eat a cookie and see how good it tastes, not even though it's vegan, but to them, they might be like surprised that something vegan could taste so good. And really that's what I've tried to do, is just make cookies that are insanely good, and we stuff them with different fillings, and they're massive 6-ounce cookies stuffed with peanut butter cookie dough, cookie butter, chocolate ganache, fudge brownie, and so we just really, we'll send you home with some. It started in college. I started perfecting. That was around the time that those really big cookies were becoming such a big thing. Those big companies were selling all of these crazy cookies, and I was like, I want to get in on this. And we even ordered a few vegan options that you could have shipped online, and we tasted them, and they were just very subpar. It was kind of like what you expect a vegan dessert to taste like if you don't know that it can taste amazing. You have this preconception that it's going to taste dry, it's going to taste bland, it might taste like banana, something, people do crazy things, but you don't necessarily want a chocolate chip cookie to taste like anything but a chocolate chip cookie. And so that's when I was like, okay, my item is better, in my opinion, in our opinion, than what's out there. There aren't a ton of options out there. Let's do it. We started out of a church kitchen. That's where I really got my start. Eventually, we rented out this space. We completely renovated it, and now we're using it. We ship out nationwide. We offer local pickups. We wholesale to places around the area here and in South Florida. And we're gonna start doing some little pop-ups here and there and things like that. We really just wanna expand it as much as possible and get our cookies into the hands of as many people as possible.
We want as many people eating cookies.
Yeah, I mean, that's my one goal in life.
You ever heard of Direct Action Everywhere? Mm-mm. It's a really amazing activist group that's pretty much everywhere. And Wayne Chung, he's one of the founders. He's no longer with the organization, but when I interviewed him, that was his biggest concern, was not finding vegan cookies.
Give me his info, I'll send him some.
Yeah, if you get to see that interview, you'll really appreciate his work and energy.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll definitely have to tell him about this.
Yes.
What is your website?
Cookiesbymk.com is our business, the cookie business. 6vegansisters.com is our blog. And then you can find us on social media, Cookies by MK, 6 Vegan Sisters. I also have one called Mary Kate's Vegan Cakes. That's where I started out really showing my desserts. I really liked baking and decorating cakes and things of that nature. So I started out with that, and then I kind of transitioned into cookies. My focus was cookies.
Is that other one still relevant at all? Mary Kate's
Vegan Cakes.
Mary Kate's Vegan Cakes.
Yes.
That's a lot. That's a little twister.
Cookies by MK is a little cuter,
Yeah.
a little shorter.
Cool. So you got 3 URLs going on there.
Three Instagram handles.
Yeah.
And I guess 3 URLs. Yeah.
Could you be with somebody who's not vegan?
So I have a wonderful, amazing boyfriend, and he is not vegan. He grew up in a meat and potato family. He barely knew what veganism was when he met me. And now I think he would say he eats more vegan food than non-vegan food, having been with me for 2 years. I think it really helped with his digestive issues. I think he would say that as well. And he really embraces it. When we cook, it's all vegan. Our fridge is 90%, if not more, vegan. Even when we go out to eat, we will order all the vegan options on the menu and we'll just share them. So he really has embraced it, and I think it would be tough to have someone who didn't embrace it, because then your values just really don't align, and that's something that would be tough. But I think he has shown that he is willing to
grow.
Yeah, exactly.
So as far as the ethics are concerned, that I guess that could be pretty challenging at times, or scary in the beginning maybe, right?
Right.
Do you do anything in respect to the ethics, like visit sanctuaries, or you pretty much just, this is your form of activism and this is pretty much all you really need to do?
I mean, this is my main form of activism. I do love watching all the documentaries. I have volunteered at animal sanctuaries. I like being involved in the community, mostly through social media. And we have found that that's a great way to spread the message. I also think just sharing food for family gatherings, for when we have friends over, anything, we're always, vegan mac and cheese, vegan cookies, things that we know they're gonna like and that they're not going to shy away from because it's vegan. So I do think sharing vegan food that's good, that's shocking to people, I think that's a great way to spread the message.
And kids love cookies too, so I love going back to the kids. The sister that already has 3, right?
Yes.
How are they doing? Are they doing pretty fantastic or what?
They're great. They are very active. She has 2 boys who are just wild, and they do love cookies. They love my cookies, and they're always excited. They're still so young that they're at an age where you can explain it to them, and I think because they're so young and they haven't seen the way the world is, when you explain it to them, it actually just makes complete sense, and they don't want to eat animals. They love animals. They have dogs. They see these animals living with them every day. They don't also then want to eat animals. So I think learning that at a young age is actually really cool. And if one day they're their own people, if they one day want to make their own decisions, they can, but they have grown up with all of the knowledge that they need to stay vegan if they want.
And do you feel like it's potentially the healthiest way that your sister could be raising her children?
Yes, definitely. And she's the type to do just so much research before she does anything for her kids. So if she thought that it wasn't a healthy way to raise her kids, she would reconsider it. But I mean, it's very well documented at this point that it's a very healthy way to raise your kids, and it's just a very healthy way of being.
And even protective against many chronic diseases.
For sure. It's amazing.
Is there anything that we didn't cover that you think would be cool to get out there? Maybe a quote or some last minute encouraging words?
Interesting. A quote. I always like the one, "Life is short, eat the cake. Just make sure it's vegan."
Nice. Is that one you made up?
The last part, maybe. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, well, I'm excited to check out your cookies.
Yes, for sure. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much.